Good, beautiful morning, everyone. Day, I have no idea, 9, 10, I've totally lost track.
Mama, what day is it?
I don't know what day of our trek it is. Do you? We have such lost track. Anyway, we're kicking it off here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You're counting the stops? Yeah?
8, 9. Day 9.
It's day 9. He's pretty good. Anyway, we're kicking it off here at Mabry Mill on the Blue Ridge Parkway. We had spent last night at Rocky Knob, so be sure to check out that video. And Teddy is way ahead of me. So you guys know what to do. Grab yourselves a tasty treat and a beverage of your choice and keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside this vlog at all times. And your dog on your leash where appropriate, and an eye on your child. So the next campground that we're actually headed to today is Julian Price. And we were telling Teddy about it. What is special about it is Mark and I stayed at that campground on our honeymoon 23 years ago. And it's all full of rhododendron thicket. And poor Mark got lost at night when he went to go use the restroom. So it's been quite an ongoing joke for a while. So we are here, as I mentioned, at Mabry Mill. And this is a real fun stop. This is a favorite one in our family. Mark and I always have to stop here. And actually, I was here last year with Teddy. We had stayed at a KOA over in Fancy Gap and stopped over here for like brunch before we continued on. And that was, wow, if you want to look back at that video, that must have been on the journey from Florida to Maine of last summer. We've had quite the morning, so we're finally ready to get going because we were up. I didn't get a picture, but that's okay, Teddy. We were up to go catch the sunrise at the saddle back there, saddle overlook near our campground at Rocky Knob. And then we still had to go back to Rocky Knob and like make coffee, pick up the site. And then we came down here to change up and we had signal. So we took a while to just use devices while custodial cleaned the restroom. Then we changed up and now we're finally getting to walk around Mabry Mill, but hardly anybody here, so it's a good time still to walk around. This is the mystery mine, according to Teddy. I don't know, but that's a good picture of me to get for you. Turn around, babe. Say Mabry Mill. That is nice. So there's also a gift shop here, and there was a restaurant. Last I knew, like at the beginning of the summer season, they didn't renew the lease of the concessionaire that they had. And I never, to be honest with you, kept following it close enough to know if they ever did get a new concessionaire in. I will take a peek when we go back. But in case I forget, I'll mention it now that it does seem like the gift shop part is open, but I'm not sure about the restaurant. And I know Mark and I fell in love with it during our honeymoon because it was, Mark said, the best pancakes he ever had in his life. And that's all he's talked about for 23 years. That's what I was just telling our fans and friends, Teddy, is I don't think the restaurant is actually operating anymore. I think they're in between concessionaires. So, is this good enough or did you want to walk more? We do got quite a ride today with plenty of stops, so.
Let's walk more.
Okay, we can walk some more. Lucy's like, I'm for it. She's loving all this Shenandoah Blue Ridge stuff just as much as Teddy is. This really has been the right choice for our family. I was just explaining to Teddy what this is, that this is a mill run. He's going to throw a leaf in it and watch it go. It's going the other way, Teddy, honey. It goes under the bridge. So if you had taken, back there was a fork in the path and you could have gone up and over that bridge that's in the distance and then come up around. Teddy chose this path. Yeah, if you drop it in, honey, and then run across, you'll see it go. Well, I don't know. That was kind of heavy. I think that's more of a sink or float and that sunk. Did it sink? Yeah, that sounded a little bit heavier than a leaf. A leaf would float. Want to go onto her leash?
Yeah.
There you go. I'll step back, see if we can capture this. Take a leaf and try it. No, not a whole branch, Teddy. No, not a whole branch, honey. Just a leaf. One leaf. Oh my goodness, Teddy. Just one leaf would have been sufficeable. All right. Oops, get another one. That one's stuck. Get one out of the leaf. There you go. Now come watch it. Come watch it. So watch it go through. Did it? There it goes. Look at it go. Here's just another vantage point. Now, in your peak season, like probably between Memorial Day and Labor Day, they would have some interp staff out here. I don't know this time of year, and we're probably not going to stay long enough this morning. Usually a lot of that doesn't kick in until like 10, and we're still only at like 9:30. But just so you know that if you were here more in the peak season, it is really worth walking way up back here, because they usually have these buildings open for you to view, and there's some interp staff, Park Service interp staff to talk to. Just so you know too, there's restrooms by the gift shop, and those weren't opening until 10. Those are probably run by concessions. These restrooms back here are run by Park Service, and they were all open and cleaned like normal time. She was actually finishing up while we were here. And also that's overflow parking. So if you have a larger RV, or if the parking lot down front is full, look for the signs that they do have overflow parking. And there's some picnic tables too, if you want to have a picnic. And then you can actually enter from that side too, if you didn't want to walk all the way down around. Teddy's finding apples. So there's a lot of different stuff up here, and there's some interp signs, so you could really take your time. Lucy, no apples, honey. She chases apples like they're a tennis ball. Of course, brother doesn't help any. It's not bad. I just dropped off the Blue Ridge because I mentioned a lot in my videos, I don't really like going below a half tank when I can help it. So I dropped down here in Meadows of Dan, or Meadow of Dan, whichever way it is. I don't know if there's an S on it or not. $2.89, that's not bad at all. Meadows, it is with an S. Meadows of Dan. Cute little area here. So real quick, couple of events there between Mabry Mill, then we hopped right down right after Mabry Mill to get gas. Okay, hold on. All right, it was trail related. Lately, I don't know. He's asking a lot of questions about a lot of things. I thought it was safer. We can, yeah. Do you want your picture by the bench?
Yeah, I'll do that first.
A cute picture by a rhododendron bush. So anyway, he was just asking what it meant by like loop trail and which way to go. Yeah, see, that's the rhododendron right to that side.
Don't let me look at my tree.
Oh yeah, you can bring your tree thing. Hold on, I gotta unlock it. In case you're new to our channel or you haven't been watching this week, what he went to get, flip it around the other way. He has a nice little laminated tree guide. He also has a mammal guide, but I don't think we need to bring both on this trip. But yeah, so he's been trying to research and find all the various trees. All right. Yeah. So anyway, this is, all right, so you okay? Do you need a sip? Yeah?
No.
Okay. He was just eating chips. So yeah, so we've had a quick couple of turnarounds, but Mabry Mill and then getting gas was quickly after, and then this was quickly after, but this looks like a nice little short loop. So very good for all three of us here at Round Meadow Overlook. You did? How exciting. Yeah? Yes, honey. I can come show you. Hold on. So we have made the decision that we definitely need to vacation kind of in the spring sometime so Teddy can see the flowers on all the laurels and rhododendrons and all of that. Right now, though, I mean, fall flowers are beautiful too, but he'd like to understand why that's Mama's favorite plant. Which, yeah, my favorite of all the favorites is rhododendrons and azaleas. I love them above all others. So there's the Parkway going over our head, Teddy. Yeah. Blue Ridge Parkway. You're walking under the Blue Ridge Parkway. So it looks like at one time it was paved, but it is certainly not still fully paved or ADA accessible, just for your awareness. So I'm going to give Teddy the reminder, watch his steps and go slow and steady. So if you have mobility challenges. Just do be mindful. It starts out tar and then quickly goes to like a lot of roots and stuff. So would not be one for Mark, for Daddy, Teddy's daddy. For us though, it's cool. Except for Teddy's Crocs. We are getting him hiking boots and sneakers soon. But for now, he's always just only wanted Crocs. I did get him hiking boots last year and he didn't really like them. But now he is asking for them. So hopefully they will take hold. But those Crocs are so slick on like these pine needles. Like last night at the campground, he kept sliding. I kept teasing him saying he was on skis. On skis. If you're hiking with pets, always have poop bags on hand because you just never know. Especially when you're traveling, sometimes their routine might not be as normal as it would be like when you're in your home or something. Teddy found a maple tree and a stick. It is? And if you're hiking with a dog that's naturally inclined to sniff every sniff, just pack your patience. And remind your child to pack his patience too. Sometimes Teddy doesn't always want to hold up if I've got to wait for Lucy to potty or sniff or... We're starting to find a rhythm. Doing some walks together. Sometimes it's easier, I'm finding, with a dog and a child to do something quiet like this. That's a quiet trail. Like when we were at Mabry Mill, that was hard. There was actually a lot of people there, and the stimulus range gets up a little bit, and that makes it hard. Lucy's usually pretty good unless Teddy's wound up. For some reason, if Teddy's hyper and walking around, hold up, Lucy. A little hilly for Mama. If Teddy gets hyper and he's like running just wild child, then for some reason she gets hyper and feeds off him and doesn't really listen to my commands as well as she does like a trail like this. So that's what I'm learning on this trip is I do sometimes struggle when it's just me with the two of them in more of a quote unquote busier area than something quiet like our campsite or a trail like this. Nice view of the stream down here now. And then I want to show you now we're looking up really high at the bridge at the Blue Ridge Parkway. And I'm already noticing, funny, we had such an early start this morning. I thought, oh wow, we're going to be way ahead of schedule. But by the time we did then pack up camp and then changed and took so much time at Mabry Mill and stuff, it's already 11:15. So maybe, well, the way to adjust usually for us at this point is I'll cut out not do as many overlooks. Especially this many days in now, a lot of them are kind of looking the same, and stuff like Mabry Mill and this hike are more important. So I'll end up cutting it out. Not do as many overlook stops. Arrow there for the trail, depending on which way you're going. He's taking the high road. He's scared of the muck. I've never seen Teddy scared of muck in all of my life. You can do it. I'd found hard rocks to step on. Just go slow and steady. I can come back now that I'm across and hold your hand. Do you want me to? Okay. I was just reminding Teddy about this plant. This plant with the orange flower. This is jewelweed. It's a great remedy, natural remedy for poison ivy. You're fine. Just push through it like you did at Grandma. This stuff was at Grandma and Grandpa's too in Maine. Of course, if you see a lot of it, it might also mean that there's some poison ivy in the area. So just be mindful of that. All right, Lucy, you push through too, please. But yeah, jewelweed. Natural cure, help for poison ivy. So if you have it growing in your yard, it'd be good to have a little bit in your yard possibly. Sometimes Lucy's a good help when you're hiking. He's like a sled dog, just pulls me along until we get a sniff. This is a nice part of the trail, Teddy, down here by the creek. Taking a last look here at the stream, and then the trail cuts right back steep up. That's good. There's some built-in steps and stuff. Teddy, you gonna lead? Okay.
No, that way. Wait.
Looks like it's just a social trail, sweetie. Doesn't have any marker or anything. Good job, slow and steady. You got it. We did it. I'm a little out of breath. Of course, I'm 51 years old now and was living in flat Florida for the longest time. But we did it. That was actually nice. It was nice to get a little bit of a workout. So a little more ways down the road, we've stopped here at Groundhog Mountain. It's a nice picnic area. Leaving Lucy in the car for this one. And there's a nice interp sign here about rail fences. Something that Mark has a huge passion for. I love the look of them too. I always said if I had a house, especially a house here in Virginia, way back when we were thinking about having a house in Virginia, I would have loved to have a yard with like split rail fences. So here's some of the different rail fences you could have. Picket or paling rail fence. Snake rail fence. That's my favorite. Love the look of those, the way they twist.
What is this one?
That's a buck rail fence.
What is this one?
Post-in rail fence. It says in earlier days, fences kept wild animals and livestock out of garden and farm areas. Livestock roamed free, foraging near the farm. Sharp-pointed, Mark will probably tell me, or Chris Kimball will tell me if I'm butchering this word. Sharp-pointed palings, nailed to the rails between locust posts, protected vegetable gardens from stray animals. As the land became more populated, settlers built fences to keep livestock closer to the farm and away from public roads and neighbors' property. Rail fences are of three general types, each design having distinct advantages. Snake rail fences are easily constructed but require more materials. Post-in rail is a sturdy fence requiring the least lumber but the most labor. The buck rail fence is favored for rugged, uneven terrain. It is less frequently but is easily identified by the X or sawbuck rack which supports the cross rails. Chestnut trees provided lumber for the earliest fences. Plentiful and easy to work, mountaineers also preferred it for houses and farm buildings. After the chestnut's decline, locust, sassafras, and mulberry were substituted for fencing materials. Miles of rail fence are maintained along the Parkway as examples of the resourcefulness and hard work of this region's settlers. He's losing patience with Mama reading interp signs. That's why I don't read a lot when we're touring together. What a view, Teddy, huh? What a view!
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Beautiful. It does work, Teddy. Yeah, press it. Want me to press it for you? Press down. There you go. Get good sippy. And I'm always giving Teddy the reminder, and everyone else around historic structures in these parts, do be mindful of possible rattlesnakes. So just keep eyes and ears open. Oh, Teddy, this is all you, Bob, huh?
This is how I get up to my house.
Up to your house. So, yeah, this picnic area definitely is the list for children. Friendly activities with children. Because children like to climb things like this and look out. Sometimes they get bored with history or interp or whatever, but you can always usually talk Teddy into something that involves stairs. Documenting this because there's not going to be probably even many more weeks, let alone months, that I'll be able to pick him up like this and hold him so he can see things. He's almost as big as me now, and he doesn't look heavy. There's a lot of bone and muscle on this boy. Is that good?
Yeah. I want to take a little walk and be up here.
Wow, nice views from up here. You can really see the examples of the two fences there. Look down on the car. And this is, I figured you could go up, and that's especially under that tree right now. And we're still only in the 60s, low 60s. So in that tree with the windows open, Lucy girl is good. I kind of knew this was an up that I didn't want to bring Lucy in for. Teddy went down before me so I could get video and pictures. So there was some other guests that went up to look, and Teddy had to kind of sit here with me, and now I've let him run up again. I'm not going up again, but I'll let him take a few runs up. Yeah, this is a good stop for littles that need wiggles out. Really good. Here we are. Carolina state line. Make sure nobody's behind me. There used to be a line actually painted across the road, and it does not appear to still be there. There you are, Teddy.
Yeah.
North Carolina. Teddy's been in North Carolina before, but not this year. So it'll be cool tonight to add another sticker to our US map we're working on. Yeah, well, during my honeymoon, during Mark and I's honeymoon, there actually was a line painted across that we get out and stepped on. Oh my goodness gracious. I like seeing the Blue Ridge again. So, we have a story to tell. I knew there was a detour. I knew there was construction. I knew there was bridge problems. And Mark had told me when we were planning this track together, one day in Shenandoah when we were on the phone planning, he was helping us, you know, by using his internet and mine, and we were planning this all out, and he told me, and it's one thing to hear someone explain it to you what's going on than to actually go through it. So right after, Teddy's happy to see the Blue Ridge Parkway again too. Right after we crossed into North Carolina, the detour started, and it was like a 50-mile detour, and which it was okay, but wow, a lot of those backcountry roads were just so narrow and twisty and turny, which would be okay if you lived here and you knew them. But when you don't know those roads, wow, that was a lot of like just stress and eye strain. And Teddy took a nap through most of it, so he missed a lot of it. He took a nap. We came out into the area of West Jefferson, and I spotted a McDonald's, and I'm like, oh, Teddy, you want a Happy Meal? I need a diet soda. So we pulled into McDonald's. Teddy got a chicken nugget Happy Meal. I was glad, because some McDonald's have Diet Dr. Pepper, some don't. That did. So I got a nice big Diet Dr. Pepper. We called Mark, talked to Mark for a while. And now, shortly after that, about, I don't know, not too far. We came down a better road, at least. It was like Highway 221, I think, from West Jefferson area to get back on the Blue Ridge here in the Boone area of North Carolina. So now, finally having our first official North Carolina overlook, huh, Teddy? Wow. Where are you going? No, honey, that drops right off, hon. Let's not do that. I'm sure we'll find more fun. He's had a nap, so he's ready to go again. But I'm just happy to be back on the Blue Ridge. And eventually we'll have to come back and do a lot of the parts we missed. We kind of gave up of collecting every single Junior Ranger program anyway, because we had kind of missed some other areas. So we're still doing what we have, mostly just for homeschool purposes, but not to actually get the patch that we were working for, because you'd have to have all 10 sheets. Anyway, I've rambled enough. I'm just grateful. And funny, you're on this and you're in the middle of nowhere, and then when you're back in, you know, traffic and all that, you're just like, oh, happy to be back on this. But we're only like 16 miles now from our campground. But anyway, that's what happened today. So that was all part of the adventure.